Hey, what's up? I'm Flo.
Hey, I'm Matisse.
I'm Toon, and we're Keys N Krates.
Keys N Krates. Keys N Krates.
Keys N Krates.
We're Keys N Krates.
Good question.
Good one.
You know,
What is our method for finding the perfect sample?
I don't think there's a method. I think it's more of like we're just always looking for stuff everywhere. You know, like we're always trying to acquire like sample banks. You know,
searching the internet,
YouTube,
finding weird sample banks from like old 70s TV show theme music.
but then sometimes too, you're just listening to a song and it just something jumps out at you at that moment. You're like, oh, and you have to either like write down the name of that song or what's that app you always use? Shazam. You Shazam the name of it, or you screen capture the photo of it from songs or something. So,
and it doesn't always work. Like,
it doesn't always work.
You think you found an amazing sample, and then you throw it into Ableton, and you start messing with it, and you're like,
can't do anything,
terrible.
or you can't make it
oh,
any
it's
better.
in a weird key. We can't really do anything with it. Or,
Yeah, or there's a sound in there that you can't get out that you didn't notice at first, but
Or
there's like
annoying
a kick.
frequency.
Yeah. So you just
It's really trial and error. It's
Yeah.
like having an open mind and trial and error.
Yeah.
synths that we can't work without. We use Silent, Nexus. I like to use the Dave Smith instruments, which are analog keyboards.
That's kind of it.
And
Yeah, we use a lot of samples, so like the Ableton sampler, simpler, drum
Ableton
rack.
sampler, drum rack, Valhalla Room VST we use for a lot of reverb.
Yeah. A lot of the Waves plugins.
Oh yeah, Waves plugins.
And the Ableton plugins. We use a lot of the stock Ableton stuff as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends what we're doing. It all depends, kind of. There's so much stuff we draw from.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been like a single break.
There's been a few. Remember, like the first time we were on Electric Zoo, I think that was a big one. Then I think Tomorrow World was a big one just this year.
I think a lot of it was our releases, man. Like I think when we started to see like Dum Dee Dum and Treat Me Right get a lot of traction, like I noticed more fans coming to our shows, and it started increasing to the point where I was like, oh, we're like starting to sell tickets now, and a lot of the fans coming out to see us don't even know that we do what we do live. They're just coming out because they became fans of like one or two songs and are now like on our SoundCloud and trolling our whole SoundCloud. And for me, that was kind of a big turning point. And that again, it wasn't like one single thing. That kind of happened really slow. Like none of our music has been like a Harlem Shake where it just like blew up overnight. Like Dum Dee Dum took like 8 months to really get like crazy traction, and it cumulatively eventually ended up selling like quite a few records for a independent trap record that was never on radio.
Treat Me Right seemed to do really well too.
For sure, yeah. I think that whole first, like the solo EP was a big turning point, where it was like we had original music that was like getting kids involved, and I think that was it.
Lucid Dreams EP also kind of felt like put us on the map for a little bit at the beginning when it first came out. But there's been no real one thing. It's been a bunch of little steps.
It's been a slow grind.
Slow grind.
Develop your own sound. Yeah. Try. I think that would be, for me, I think that's like having a unique sound that's to you that people can recognize when your track is on would be huge. Don't be a dick.
Don't
blow up people's emails and their SoundCloud with trying to get people to listen to your stuff. Like, if your stuff's good, it will be found.
Totally.
Don't be afraid to suck either. Like, I think there's a lot of bedroom producers who don't put anything out there because they're waiting to make the first Harlem Shake, and it's like, I don't think that's how anybody starts off. Like, everyone makes music for years before they get that break. So I think you got to be able to know that it's a progression, and some of your stuff's going to get out there and maybe no one's going to listen to it, but it's a progression and you're going to get better. So don't be afraid to put out your stuff and kind of suck for a little bit.
And don't be like so immediately obsessed with like results, because there's a lot of great music out there that doesn't really ever blow up, and there's a lot of really crappy music that blows up really quickly. So I mean, just because your stuff doesn't blow up right away, or you know, just because you're not getting on festivals right away or whatever, I mean, just keep making music, I think.
And if your stuff does blow up right away, don't become like a douchebag. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't see this firsthand. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say it.
Maybe you should say stuff that you've seen firsthand.
I can say that the Travis Scott set was pretty
Well, I don't know.
crazy.
Balcony jumping is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, one kid got
Oh yeah,
kicked off.
that is very crazy actually.
So like
didn't know you were
these
gonna
kids were like balcony jumping from balcony to balcony on the 11th floor of the ship while it's moving in the
because they were on a bunch of acid.
I was trying to stay clear of that, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's probably
You
the
got
balcony
kicked off the
jump,
boat.
While the ship was moving.
which is crazy to me.
And if you
like-
looked over the balcony while the ship was moving, I can attest it was terrifying. So that's pretty crazy. And they got arrested, right? Like,
well, they got put in boat jail.
they got put in boat jail, and then they got exiled when we reached like I guess the second island we docked on.
Yeah.
They got exiled back to Miami on like
Boat jail.
Yeah, boat
Sounds like
jail.
a new TV series.
I know. That's like the unpleasant part of it. I wonder if there's a buffet
Next
on the
up.
cruise ship in boat jail.
On
Do you
Fox.
think they have like a little mini buffet?
Boat
Probably.
jail.
I mean, that's 98% of people, and we're not mad at it. I mean, like, the way we are is, we're not here to, like, you know, start a protest for, like, the live movement. We do what we do because we do our show the way we do our show because that's the only way we know how to do it. And we started as a band before we were even producers. So it's, like, super natural for us to do it this way. We're definitely happy when we see people like Porter and, like, other people try live stuff. It's, like, definitely for us a way more interesting show to watch. But I mean, 98% of guys out there and guys that are making really great music do their show by just going up and, you know, basically hitting play on an Ableton session or, you know, playing their stuff off CDJs. And it's like, I can't really be mad at it. That's how they choose to do their shows. And if people want to see that, then hey, man, you know.
Yeah, keep it 100.
We haven't done a ton of collaboration.
Most we've done, like on the last EP, we kind of brought vocalists in, and we're hard to kind of work with in the sense that there's three very opinionated guys that we argue incessantly over different ideas. So when we bring a fourth person in or a fifth person, it's just a huge, you know, amount of discussion over what works. So, you know, what we've found works for us is bring vocalists in, try to write some ideas with them, write a bunch of lyrics, have them sing a bunch of ideas down, and then we get those ideas and then we pitch their voice into a point where it's unrecognizable who we even worked with, and cut it up to a point whatever lyric that we wrote down doesn't make any sense anymore. And that's kind of how it's been. But I think all three of us agree that we prefer to have whoever we collaborate in the room with us. We don't really do that well so far with kind of doing internet collaborations. We are more hands-on. We like to have the person in the room, and I think moving forward we hope to do more of that, whether it's vocalists or the producers. Like we worked with our homie Grand Theft on Keep It 100, and we had him in the room and brought a rapper in and pitched the voice down and stuff like that. So it was all kind of in, you know, everyone in the room just sharing ideas, and I think that's the most enjoyable for us.
It's also the only way it can really work in a lot of ways because, you know, it's like you do something on the internet with somebody, you know, I could be sending ideas back and forth with one person, but the thing is, it's not just my decision. So they could
Right.
send me something and I'm like, oh, this is dope. I can't immediately respond to them and go, this is dope, because I have to run it by like 2 other people. And so it's kind of like, it's just way easier if we're just all in the room and we can kind of like agree, like mutually agree on something. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try and do some more of that. I mean, we're, you know, we have some people that we want to work with and try some stuff out with. So we're gonna try that out and see what comes of it. But,
Well, it's been here, like, it's been around for, like, over a decade. It's just hip-hop, it's southern, you know, hip-hop bounce music from the South. It's not, it's been here, so if you mean probably more specifically within electronic music, I think that just matters kind of, that's up to the people making it as long as they can keep it innovative. But I mean, it's just it's a mainstay in American culture, and that kind of beat, I don't think is going anywhere. It's just whether it stays in electronic music, and hopefully it does. You know,
it's kind of interesting because we make stuff that I guess would be labeled as like trap music, and then we make stuff that's just straight kind of hip hop music, and then you see the kids online and like, this is my favorite trap song. It's like this big umbrella label that's starting to, you know, so like these different, it's starting to morph into these different kind of sounds, and they're still just, they label it all as that one thing just to kind of group it all together. So I think it'll push forward, and like people are going to start to do different stuff with maybe those elements, maybe start removing some of those elements and adding different elements. So I think there's some longevity to that whole sound.
The like trap is more of an idea than like even a sound at this point, because basically trap is what any kid on the internet labels something that's
got rap roots,
has a rap angle to it that's also electronic,
yeah.
Which is not what it is at all, but that's what kids are calling it, and that's totally fine because that's how kids are discovering about you know, new music, and that's totally cool. But I mean, I think, you know, it's such a broad term now. Like Cashmere Cat to kids is trap, and so is Flosstradamus, but that's like pretty different music, you know what I mean? And you know, people look at our like records, like we've done like the All the Time record, which is like, it's not a trap record at all. It's like kind of more like a drugged out rappy with like pitched up vocals over it, and they call that a trap record. But it's like, at this point, who cares? You know, I think the interesting thing is kids want to hear like weird rap beats in an electronic context that they can dance to, and that's an elaboration on what was happening in like the 90s with like the whole like Mowax and Ninja Tune stuff, where it was just kind of a nerdy movement where kids would go out and they would like stare at DJ Shadow and stuff like that, and they'd watch him play these weird beats. Now kids are coming out and watching guys like us and like Tonight, Just Blaze play these weird beats, but they're dancing to it. They're like, actually, it's like a party, which is like a really cool thing.
There's also like Pretty Lights, who has a whole different sound, but it's also hip hop.
But kids will call that trap at this point. Kids
Yeah,
will be
and
like,
it's
my favorite trap artist is
Pretty Lights. It's
Dude.
like not even close to trap, but
Yeah.
just, I mean, I think hip hop and electronic music is here to stay. Like,
Yo, the best moment on the Mad Decent boat was when Kygo was jamming with Big Gigantic,
with
and
Dom.
there was a kid. There was a
Yeah.
kid with a sign that said "Run the Trap."
Run the trap.
They're jamming on like an acoustic piano and a saxophone, and there's a kid with a sign saying, "No, it said it's a trap."
It's a trap, yeah.
Is it a trap?
it's piano and sax.
Piano and sax.
Yeah.
So awesome.